How you guys doing? Steve, you still here? Let me know if you're still here.
Bluetooth pairing.
And if you are here, anybody who is here, feel free to comment any kind of conspiracy you want to talk about. I made a video on the Denver International Airport tonight, and hope you enjoyed that. But we don't have to talk about the Denver International Airport, even though it's fascinating. We could talk about whatever you'd like. So, in the meantime, hey, Steve, glad to know you're still here. In the meantime, I'm going to go into the video that I made a little bit. So, it ended up being short, and were you here for the video, Steve? Did you feel like it was too short, or was it pretty to the point? I could have went way more in depth with the Denver International Airport. That is a weird airport. There is a lot of weird stuff going on there, and I really only touched the surface. There's a lot of other good videos out there to look up on it. I would look up one of those and really get into depth on it, because the tunnel system is very fascinating. The murals, the artwork in the airport is very fascinating. The capstone, the dedication stone, I got into that in the video a little bit, but that's fascinating as well, because, you know, like I said, the financing for this airport is anonymous. So the only way to trace back who was responsible for it is this capstone. And it says it was an organization that does not exist. The New World Order, or the New World Airline Association, or New World Airport Commission, doesn't exist. There's no such thing. So, but that's who it says paid for it. But, and that horse, Lucifer, that thing is creepy, right? Why would you have that on your runway? You know, I wouldn't think you'd want creepy death imagery all over your airport. An airport would be the last place I think you'd want anything like that. So that was what video we watched. And do me a favor, if you want to help out and share things on the show, I'm going to put the link to that video right here in the comment thread. Share that video on YouTube, because that's what I'm trying to do right now, is build my YouTube channel up. I'm trying to grow my subscribers, and a lot of you have subscribed, and I appreciate that. So share the video on YouTube and help me get more views over there. Let me get the link for you real quick. All right, I'm going to add the link and go ahead and share that for me. Anyways, go ahead and comment any conspiracies you want to talk about. We're going to hang out and talk conspiracies. So I need to know what you want. This is a participation show, and we just sit around and talk conspiracies, and that's basically it. It's not much to it. Hold on, I'm going to put the link right now for the YouTube video. Yeah, Steve, I felt like it was short too. I think I'm going to do a more in-depth video. I like the short ones because they're more likely to go viral. You know, I want to keep them under 5 minutes for teasers, but I think I would like to do about a 15 to 20-minute video on the Denver International Airport, because I could have went deeper into the underground tunnels. I left out one important detail completely. In front of the murals, and in front of the mural that depicts the wiping out of civilization, there is a tile that says AUAG. Now, one of the people that is responsible for this airport discovered this chemical. It can be gold and silver, but it can also be this deadly poison that is, I should have wrote down the name of it, but I left that out completely. And that's right in front of the mural depicting the end of the world, this poison, or this plaque with this poison written on it. And as I said, it like all things in the Illuminati, it has a double meaning. It can also mean gold and silver, but it's kind of weird where it's placed, you know, kind of a wink, wink. They always got to put it right in front of your face. They always put it right there in front of your face. That's the way they are. And then they have to be that way. That's one of their rules. They have to let us know what they're doing. And they do. all the time. They put it right in front of our face. And when we're silent, our silence is our consent. We consent to what they do to us. Matter of fact, and I hope I don't turn anybody off by this if you're watching later on, because there's only one person here now, and if I turn him off by it, I'll know right away. I've been in a long debate. This is off topic, but I've been in a long debate today with these atheists on Facebook. Now, I happen to be a Christian. If you're not, that's fine with me. Whatever religion you are or whatever you identify with, I respect that. But I've noticed that it doesn't go that way, and I'm both ways all the time. And I'm sure, positive, and I know for a fact, Christians are guilty of it as well. But since I tend to debate atheists most often, it frustrates me that they're so ignorant with you. I don't understand why on the internet and why on Facebook and stuff like that, we talk to people in ways we would never speak to them in person. No matter how civil they're being to you, if they're challenging you or you feel threatened in any way, you got to lash out and physical attacks and call people retarded and say things like that. If they're a moron and belittle their argument, you're not even listening. What are you doing on Facebook anyway? I look at Facebook as a sharing tool, of course, to promote and to do things like that, and a networking tool. And I also use it to have debates and conversations with people. That's what it's for, I feel. I mean, I'm no Mark Zuckerberg. I don't know exactly what he designed it for. He may have designed it just to post pictures of your food. That's what people seem to like to do with it, is just post pictures of their meal. But I was arguing with these atheists, and it's just, I don't understand why they have to be so brutal to you. And I don't understand why you have to treat somebody like they're stupid just because they believe in God. To have a belief system doesn't make you stupid. It doesn't make you any lesser than anyone else. And to be an atheist doesn't make you smart. It's not a badge of intelligence. It's a lack of belief. That's all it is. It doesn't mean you are on some higher level than me or that you're more awake and aware than I am because I still believe in what you call my sky daddy, which I think is incredibly ignorant. And at the same time, most atheists will be into things like multidimensional theory and multiverses and things like that. But no, there's no possibility that there's a God. How is it possible that there is thousands of untold amount of dimensions where there's different me's doing different versions of this show right now? That's believable to you, but a creator is not. It's also believable to these people that we're in the simulation theory, and you may have heard of this, that we live in a computer program, that this is not even real. This is a computer program some aliens designing, and we're just casting out preordained roles in this game of this I guess blown out proportion game of Sims. They'll believe that even, but not in a creator. You're stupid if you believe in a creator. I just don't agree with that. I don't see why, no matter how civil and how kind I am in these discussions, they have to treat me like I'm stupid because I believe in God. I think that's one of our biggest problems, is how divisive and divided we are. Why we can't come together. See, if you're, the way I see it, if you're an atheist, a Buddhist, whatever you are, why can't I have common ground with you? Why can't we move forward towards common goals? Why do we have to be on different teams? Why does it have to be, oh, you're an atheist? Oh, well, then you must be a godless heathen. I don't want anything to do with you. Or, oh, you're a Christian? Oh, look at that pop up. Meet local rich women. Find and meet like crazy. Click here to join. Onlinevideoconverter.com. That is the video converter I use to make videos. And it is spammy as hell, and it gives me all kinds of bugs like that. So I get you get the occasional entertaining pop-up when you watch this show. 6 o'clock must be a bad time to do a show, because I only have one person here, but I'm not going to let that bring me down. I'm going to pretend there's more than one person here, and I'm going to pretend that they're talking and communicating and commenting. As a matter of fact, Steve just asked me about RFID chips and what I think about that. And what I think about that is crazy. I don't know if you know what those are, but those are They're tiny microchips. You know, I'm sure you've heard of it. I hope you've heard of it. But the real ID, the whatever they want, you know, they're called different things, but mostly you'll hear them called the RFID chips. This is going to be a chip that they want us to have installed in our hands or our wrist that will have all your information, all your money, all your bank accounts, everything on it. And it's going to be so super convenient, and you'll just use that whenever you want to pay, or whenever if you're hurt, the doctor will be able to scan your wrist and know all your allergies and know everything about you just by a quick scan. It's going to be super cool. That's how they're going to sell it to you. And when I think about this, what I tend to think about a lot is, will society really accept it? And I'm afraid that they will. I'm afraid that they will not only accept it, but that they will embrace it. Now, I won't. You're not putting any chip in me, but that's just me. I'm not putting any chip inside of me. And it's not because I believe it's the mark of the beast, you know, because like I said, I'm Christian, but I'm just not letting you put a chip in me. I'm not putting all my information on a chip. You start doing that, I'm going to start hiding money in my backyard and burying it in cans and collecting gold and silver, hoarding. Because we're at the end of the road, we're at the end of the line. We start getting into a system like that. That's too much power and control. To let them just have access to everything about you and be able to shut you off in an instant if you're deemed an enemy of the state. I don't want that. I think things are fine the way they are. Do I need the convenience of not needing to bring my wallet? No. Do I need the convenience of not having to remember keys? No. I can remember my damn keys. I can bring my wallet. I can pay with my card or my cash. Things are fine the way they are. I don't need a chip in my wrist to handle my business and keep my information on. I think that's ridiculous. I don't want that. I hope we'll fight back as a society against the RFID chip. I really do. I worry that we won't. Like I say, I don't have a lot of faith in humanity. I'm losing faith in humanity more and more by the day. Steve says, I'm seeing Verizon 5G vans around my neighborhood. I've recently done some videos on 5G. 5G is rolling out. And we need to be concerned about it. You know, again, they're going to sell you on how cool it is. You're going to have 100 times faster phone. You'll download videos 100 times faster. You're going to be, everything's going to be so fast, so ridiculously fast and convenient. And you're going to have an Internet of Things. Everything's going to be connected because the signal is going to be so strong, and it can tolerate that. Because Elon Musk says that the technology for AI is already here. It just has a bandwidth problem. So this 5G is going to solve that bandwidth problem. They'll be able to roll out AI completely. You'll have your toaster. You'll be able to toaster be talking to your shower and your TV all at the same time. We're going to have an Internet of Things. Everything's going to be so super cool. But you know, it's not really so cool because Elon Musk at the same time is terrified of the AI invasion and feels like it will be the end of humanity, and says the only way for us to survive the AI invasion is to merge with the machines. One of the smartest people alive right now says that AI is going to wipe out humanity. The Terminator is going to be real. It's going to happen in real life. You know that movie with the robot? Skynet? Looks like we're heading in that direction. So we got two people here now. This is Conspiracy Theories and Chill. I'm Sean. Go ahead and comment anything you want to talk about, any conspiracy that you're interested in or you'd like to get into. And let me let you know that if you're here watching late, if you're not here for the live show, go ahead and still comment. I'll respond to your comments, and I would like the input for future shows to know what kind of things you guys want to see or hear about. Tonight we watched a video on the Denver International Airport. We talked a little about the RFID chip. And right now we were discussing AI and 5G. We need to be really concerned about this 5G. There's going to be so many more towers. 300,000 new cell towers need to go up for 5G. We're going to be exposing ourselves to 2,000% more radiation with these 5G signals. And there's no way around it. It's going to be everywhere. They want America to lead the pack in 5G and have connectivity all throughout the United States. It's going to be in rural areas as well as city areas. And they can put these antennas everywhere. They can put these antennas wherever they want. They can put them on street signs. They can put them on street lamps. They can put them on, they can go all over the place. They can be mini ones and they can be the larger ones. And the larger ones can hold more antennas on them. A typical cell tower now can only hold 12 antennas. I believe that's right. The 5G towers can hold 150 antennas on them. They can make them look like evergreen trees. I mean, it doesn't look like a real tree, but it's got that many antennas on it that it can look like an evergreen tree. John says Billy Shears. Billy Shears, if you don't know it and you're not familiar, we talked about it in the last episode. But Paul McCartney, there is a conspiracy that Paul McCartney actually died right before the Sgt. Pepper album and was replaced by a look-alike, sound-alike by the name of Billy Shears, who was in a Beatles cover band. And that's an interesting theory. I suggest you look into that. There's a lot to it. This Billy Shears and Paul McCartney looked a lot alike. There's that. There's also that after that, from the Sgt. Pepper album on, Paul seemed to be taller. He had different features. His ears were different. So they never toured after the Sgt. Pepper album. See, I don't know a whole lot about the Beatles, but John says apparently he grew 3 inches taller, and that is why they never toured anymore. I don't know if they toured after the Sgt. Pepper album. You'd have to tell me that. But it's an interesting theory. There's a lot to it. So I suggest looking that up if you are interested in that and if you want to hear more on it. Oh, Nissa, you're here? Sweet. I'm glad to see some people showing up. That's okay. Better late than never. Go ahead and let me know anything you guys want to talk about. The more you comment, the longer the show will go. Because, I mean, I've got notes written down, but I can't ramble on forever, even though I'm pretty good at talking. I can't ramble on forever. If you're here for the beginning or check out the beginning of the show, even though I messed up a little bit, let me know if you like the new theme song. I made a theme song for the show. I used to use Mr. Crowley, but if I use Mr. Crowley, it gets my videos muted. So I had to stop using Mr. Crowley. Last episode, I used the theme to the match game just as a goof because it's public domain. But I made my own theme this week. So if you liked it, let me know if you want me to stick with that as the theme. And because I'm experimenting, trying to find a new theme for the show. I'm also trying to come up with some other shows to do. I used to do a rant show where I just come on and rant about a topic and then we just hang out afterwards just like this. And then I also used to do a show called Yankee Show, which was a news type show, kind of like a daily show, but just me. And then we would hang out afterwards as well. So if you have any interest in those shows coming back, let me know. Yankee Show and Yankee Rants. Because I came back with Conspiracy Theories and Chill because it was one of my favorites. I really liked it. I hope you do too. I like talking about conspiracies. I know a lot about conspiracies. So it's a really good show for me to do and was easy for me to use as a comeback. But now that I'm back and I'm feeling more secure about all this, I'm thinking about bringing some of the other shows back too. So if you're into that, let me know. And I will keep that in mind. I'm going to share this to a couple groups. I want to get a few more people here. Let's see. I shared it 7 times. So if every one of us shared it 7 times, we should be able to get 3 more people in here. Anywho, comment any conspiracy you want to talk about. I'm going to go into my notes a little bit while I wait for you guys to comment. Nissa, for your benefit, today we watched a video that I made on the Denver International Airport conspiracy. Go ahead and check that out. I added the link. I think I did anyway. No, I didn't. Or yeah, I did. I added the link to it in the comment section here above. So you can scroll up and look in the comments and go to the link on the YouTube channel. Give it a like and a share. I would really appreciate that. But tonight's video was on the Denver International Airport, as I just said, and I think I should make another one. Steve was agreeing with me earlier that it was a little too short. It's a quick video. I've been making those lately because they have more of a potential to go viral. And I want to get my YouTube views up and my subscribers up, and I really want the YouTube channel to pop. So I've been making these shorter, quick form videos that can go viral, that are interesting but still able to get shared out there and grow and grow my channel. But I'm going to make a longer form version of the Denver International Airport conspiracy video. I'm going to make one about 15-20 minutes long because there was a lot more I could have gotten into. Well, let's see. We brought up 5G and AI and how they tie in and work together. I don't know if you're aware of that, but in case you missed it, Elon Musk has said that the technology for AI already exists. It just has a bandwidth problem. So 5G will solve that problem. And Elon Musk seems to believe that AI will wipe out humanity. Thanks, Steve. Steve says he shared to some groups. I appreciate it. Looks like we're getting some more people here. This is Conspiracy Theories and Chill. I'm Sean. We just talking conspiracies. Comment any conspiracy you want to talk about, and we'll kick it around. I'm well versed in most of them. John says maybe Paul was an AI. Maybe we all are. Simulation theory, you know, that's an actual that's a conspiracy that scholars and professors and scientists are actually kicking around as real, that we live in a simulation. Elon Musk, for example, says that it's actually more likely than not, more likely that we live in a simulation, that this is not real, that it's a computer simulation. And there are scientists and experts that say that there is evidence for the simulation. This is something that people are taking very seriously. It's not a crazy conspiracy. It's mainstream that we live in a simulation. I'm good at talking. All right. If I keep saying it, maybe it'll become true. Nissa just shared a bunch of emojis. That looks cool. But yeah, comment whatever conspiracies you want to talk about. I briefly brought up RFID chips. Let me know what you think about RFID chips. Will you let them put a chip in you? Will you take the mark? If that's what it is. I don't know if that's what it is, but I know I'm not letting them put a chip in me. I don't want my information on a microchip. I'm going to crack into some old notes here because I've got a group with me right now. There's 3 people here, but I don't have a talkative group. So I'm going to look through and see what I got written down on some of my older notes. Does anybody follow QAnon? I just can't get into it, but I've seen some people on Facebook that swear up and down that there is a spy in the Trump administration that is letting the people know how great Trump is and that there is a master plan, and his name is Q. And Trump even acknowledges the Q signs at events. You'll see him do it. Like a lot of the Trump fans will have Q signs, and he'll point at the signs. He's playing up to it at least. But that's him. Trump is not stupid about entertainment. Trump is maybe not the smartest, brightest light in the house, but he's not stupid when it comes to entertainment and promotion. He knows about branding. He knows how to play a crowd, basically. John says Revelation 13:18, the mark of the beast. So you believe the RFID chip is the mark of the beast, John? I know people do. I don't know that would be it, because well, what is it? What does it say technically in Revelation is the mark of the beast? What is it? I know it says something about it being in your hand. Isn't it in your right hand or your forehead? Hold on, John shared it. Let me read this real quick. This is from Revelations. And he had the power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark on their right hand or in their foreheads. Oh, okay. And that's where they say that this chip would go, is your right hand or your right wrist. But there's already there's already places that are preparing for this as a form of payment. Next time you're at Walmart, why don't you take a look underneath the register? There's a scanner for an RFID chip already, and their blood pressure machine has one too. And why is that? You think that a huge multinational corporation like Walmart just wastes money on technology that we're never going to use? Another thing you might not have noticed about Walmart when you're walking into your local Walmart, most of them have facial recognition cameras. If you see that little camera that's up on when you walk into a Walmart, it's got the little flashing red light, that's a facial recognition camera. Walmart's part of Homeland Security. Sam Walton was tied to the CIA. Walmart's always had governmental ties. Walmart is an interesting company to look into. You're going to get your learn on today. No, look into Walmart. Look into Walmart being tied to Homeland Security and FEMA. You know, you hear theories of people saying that they think that these Walmarts, these empty abandoned Walmarts that you see around the country with chain link fences around them, are actually FEMA camps in waiting. And I think there's something to that fact. And you can also tie Walmart into FEMA and Homeland Security. So, you know, you can report terrorist activity at a Walmart. You can go up to a store manager and report terrorist activity. This says Kanye's deprogramming. Kanye West is somebody, I believe that MK Ultra as a program never stopped. I don't think the CIA ever stopped MK Ultra. If anything, they ramped it up. I think you'll see celebrities have MK Ultra snaps on a pretty regular basis. For some examples you can look up is Britney Spears, Katy Perry, Michelle Williams, Kanye West. Kanye West has had quite a few meltdowns on stage, and then most recently a famous meltdown in the Oval Office, but now has come to terms with it. He says he's bipolar, which, as someone that is bipolar, I can attest that sometimes you do enter altered states of reality. So this is possible that he's telling the truth, and he says he was taken advantage of, which is also possible. You know, where I kind of owe Tim Black an apology on this, because I was giving him shit because he was defending Kanye and saying that Kanye is sick and was being taken advantage of. Well, it kind of turns out that Tim might be right. But I also think there's more to it than him being sick. I think Kanye is under MK Ultra mind control. I also think Beyonce is. Look up a video of Beyonce spacing out. She's at a basketball game with Jay-Z, who I believe is her, you know, handler and master. And she's just spaced out. Not spaced out as a normal person, but out of body. You'd have to look at it. You have to watch it to see what I'm talking about. Look it up. Look up Beyonce having an MK Ultra slip, or Beyonce zoning out at a Lakers game. You'll see what I'm talking about. But Beyonce is very open, and not just Beyonce, but also, who is it? Lil Kim, about having another side of them that is the performer. Beyonce, I forget what Beyonce calls hers. Little Kim straight up calls hers a demon. Steve says he thinks the MAGA bomber and many patsies are MK Ultra. I do too. And I believe that Caesar Sayak is an MK Ultra patsy. I believe that MK Ultra patsies are used all the time. That, you know, that if you, another one that I believe may have been an MK Ultra patsy, at least I for sure am, I'm really good at talking. No, I'm for sure that Stephen Paddock was a patsy, the Las Vegas shooter. I'm sure that he was a patsy. But I think MK Ultra is alive and well. And When I talk about the celebrities, that was part of MK Ultra. They had all kinds of different mind control slaves. They wanted them in all areas. It wasn't just assassins. They wanted spies and seductresses and entertainers as well. And I believe MK Ultra is used on the public through the media. Whenever you watch the news, pay attention. When it first comes on, you have all this hypnotic imagery coming up on the screen, preparing your mind to go in a sedated state and receive this information. They're using it on you all the time. They use psychology against you all the time. And your media is legalized propaganda. Obama made it legal for them to propagandize the American people, and that's all your media is. John says Bob Hope worked with MK Ultra. I had never heard that. Nissa says the towers everywhere. You mean 5G? Yeah, there will be tower. The 300, like I said, 300,000 new towers have to go up for 5G, and they will be everywhere. There will be no getting away from it. And these signals are dangerous. 5G signals are already used by the military in weaponized form. They can make you collapse. They can make you lose the use of your extremities. They can make you hear voices. They can make you question reality. And they are used for those things right now by our military. But we're going to use them for cool cell phones. I really don't think it's a good idea. I think we need to be resistant of this 5G technology. I don't believe I'm going to take any part in it. My phone's 8 years old. It works just fine. You know, we gotta start paying attention to what we're accepting and putting up with for sake of convenience. You know? Humanity doesn't seem to pay attention. They're just like, wow, this is cool. This is so neat. Let me put this radioactive signal up to my head and talk to my buddies. Let me spend all day on it. Let it hypnotize me. Put me in a trance. Track my every movement. Record me. Your phone is always listening to you. Try this. Try this out as an experiment. Start talking about something you need and then scroll through your Facebook. You know, do it in front of your phone. But start talking about something like, say, I really, really need a mattress. You know, honey, we need to go mattress shopping. We need to check out some mattresses. Then scroll through your Facebook. They'll show you an ad for mattresses. I do it all the time. It works. You just sit there and you start talking to your phone about how I need to buy a car. You start scrolling through, be car sales ads. Sometimes I'll see ads for stuff I didn't even realize it was paying attention to. It'll be obscure stuff. Your phone is always listening to you. We're all walking around carrying our own listening devices, our own tracking devices, willingly. George Orwell saw a lot of the future. He got a lot right, but he didn't really realize how willing the people would be to go along with this Big Brother shit. We don't even pay attention to it. What did Edward Snowden give up everything for? To inform us of this going on. Doesn't it seem like he got a raw deal? What did he get out of that other than a clean conscience? I mean, I don't know what his life's like over in Russia. I just know I don't want to live in Russia. He had a good job. He was successful. He was a genius. He made really good money. He was in a relationship with that ballet dancer and gave up his whole life to inform us that we're being watched and spied upon. And nobody cares. Nobody cares. That is frustrating. It reminds me of George Carlin. Nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Everyone just keeps their heads buried in the sand, you know? It's ridiculous. Let me go through and see what you guys have been talking about. Steve says Antarctica. You're going to have to be a little more specific. What do you mean about Antarctica? Tell me what you're getting at with Antarctica there. Are you talking about the Antarctic Treaty and how an unprecedented amount of nations have agreed to this treaty that has lasted for decades and never been violated, that we won't mess with Antarctica and we won't go there at all, really, and we won't explore it and we won't allow people there to certain areas in Antarctica? Is that what you mean? Or are we going somewhere else with this? Because we can go there too. Nissa says, fake deaths, Tupac. I could see Tupac having faked his death, and there is evidence in his music. There are things that he references in his music that was released post-mortem that he could not have possibly known about. You know, and that is very odd. Now, it's possible that he recorded hundreds of songs before he died, and that's what they say happened. That's what his mother and his record label say happened, and that's why they were able to put out new Tupac years after he was dead. But there are things in those songs that he could not have known. And I can't think of any off the top of my head right now, but I'm going to look into it and I'm going to freshen my memory on it because I know it's true. I'm a Tupac fan, and I would hear stuff like Dave Chappelle did a joke about it, where you're sitting in the club and like listening to the new Tupac song, and all of a sudden he says something he couldn't possibly know. You know, it's part of pop culture. Everyone, it's something that it's a part of pop culture enough for Dave Chappelle to have made fun of it. So people should know what I'm talking about. But yeah, Tupac could have definitely faked his death. But the other side of that coin is, if they're dead, Tupac and Biggie, those were assassinations. If they are dead, but they might be living together, chilling on an island with Elvis. You know what I'm saying? Nissa says she got. I don't know your gender. I don't know why I said she, but got a new pipe today. Congratulations! That is awesome. What kind of pipe? I would love to see it. Share a picture. Share a picture of your new pipe. Have you broke it in yet? You should break it in right now. You should break it in during the show. And then send me, telepathically, send me your buzz. Glass one? Right on. Is it cool looking? I bet it is. Right now? All right. Send me those vibes. John says Bob Hope worked with MK Ultra. He controlled the slaves. So, on the USO tours, is that what you're referencing, or just the slaves in the Hollywood, the MK Ultra pawns in Hollywood? Nissa brought up Michael Obama. What do you guys think about that? Tell me in the comments. Do you think Michelle Obama is actually a man? I'm on the fence. I think she's very masculine looking. She has a lot of masculine features. She very well could be. And also, if she is, I'm completely fine with that. Unfortunately, I think it's unfortunate that Obama would feel like he'd need to lie, that her and him would feel like they'd need to lie about their true nature in order for him to be president. That's unfortunate, but I understand it. I'm sure that I can see why they would have to do that in order for him to reach the level of president, why they would have to live a lie. So it very well might be. I don't know. And that's what I'm saying. You never know. I've seen a lot of trans people that are very passable as the opposite sex. It's very hard to tell. I've also seen some that put no effort at all into it, and they'll put on the dress and keep their bald head. They don't care. They'll still do their nails and stuff, but they don't do anything about their facial features or makeup or hair. I've seen that too. And then there are also people that are born, I don't know the technical term for it right now, but born both genders. Man, it's right on the tip of my head. I hate that. There's so much useless stuff rattling around up there that actually, when I need something of value, I go to reach for it and I find, a 1982 Woody Woodpecker episode, It's ridiculous. Oh, Antarctica UFOs, Admiral Byrd. Give me just 1 second. I got to go switch my battery so I can see what you guys are saying. My phone's about to die. I will be right back. Take this time to chat among yourself and think of a conspiracy theory to talk about so we have more to say. I'm going to come back and address UFOs and Admiral Byrd in Antarctica in just a second. Let me go grab my battery. Sorry about that. My phone was about to die. I wouldn't have been able to see what you guys were saying, and that would have made me sad. And I would have had to wrap up early. So I'm reloading my phone right now so I can see your comments. But in the meantime, Steve had brought up Admiral Byrd. If you don't know who Admiral Byrd is, he was an admiral for the Navy in the 20s? I don't remember the exact time period, but highly decorated, did a lot of missions. And one of the missions that he was responsible for was exploring Antarctica. He led several missions to Antarctica. And one of them was called Operation High Jump, was one of the largest military operations in history. They sent all this fleet to Antarctica, and they were trying to reach however far they could go. Now, if you read his journals on this adventure, Admiral Byrd has some very interesting things to say about Antarctica. Some things that you don't hear mainstream media ever talk about. And one of those things is that there's more land that's being hidden from the regular people, that there's more land, usable land. He also says it's very high in resources and untapped, just sitting there. And then the interesting thing about Operation High Jump. Now, Operation High Jump, they were trying to pierce the veil. There is a barrier. He said that the planes would fly into it and just disappear. And it's like they hit nothing. But they lost a lot of planes that way. There is, and Admiral Byrd talks about it, a dome. Now, it's highly interesting that a decorated admiral talks about there being limits to our world, that there is a place where you can go no further. You can't get through it. You can fly planes into it, and they just disappear. It just sucks them up like they don't exist. And his men talk about different things like this too. It's not just Admiral Byrd's diaries. So you could say, oh, Admiral Byrd went crazy, you know, but he doesn't seem crazy. You can look up interviews of him talking about Antarctica, and he doesn't mention the Operation High Jump mission yet because it hasn't happened yet. But he took several expeditions to Antarctica. And another one of the expeditions he took to Antarctica, he traveled the outside coast of Antarctica and found that it brought him back around in a circle. Now, why would that be? Hold on. Steve says, I think Deep State picks our presidents at a young age. That's an interesting theory. I think you might have something to that. You know, I think Obama could be groomed since he was a child to have been president. I think that this is interesting. You can look this up. You can look up Bill Clinton having an MK Ultra snap while he's getting his makeup done for some publicity ads. Look that up. Look up Bill Clinton's MK Ultra snap. Bill Clinton could be a mind control slave. Hillary might be his handler. I wouldn't put it past her. Would not put it past her. Nissa says, I'm on a plane. Are you really? I'm going across the country right now. Coast to coast listeners. J-Lo looks great. Yeah. Steve says Bill Clinton and George Bush running cocaine out of Mena Airport in Arkansas. See, Steve, I knew you were holding back on me. I knew it. I knew you were holding back on me. Yeah. There was a whole, look this up. A conspiracy in Arkansas running cocaine out of the Mena airport. Look that up. The Clinton family and the Bush family have deep ties, and they are both very dirty. The Bush family goes all the way back to Prescott Bush, was dirty as hell during Prohibition, and also made his fortune off of arms sales. But Prescott Bush was not to be messed with. He was an actual gangster. Steve says birds saw a giant opening and flew into it. Yeah, he talks about that in his writings too. Admiral Byrd is very interesting to look up and listen to what he's got to say. You know, you got to think there's a lot you don't know. And why has 17, I think it's 17 something countries agreed to this treaty in Antarctica and never violated it? Nissa brought up Art Bell. Who is Art Bell? You brought that up in a previous feed, and I meant to Google it, give it a Google, because I don't really know who it is exactly you're talking about. But I have to look that up. I have to remember after this show to look up Art Bell. Go ahead and comment anything you want to talk about. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and go through my notes and see what I got written down to talk to you guys about. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to tell you about some of the videos I got in the works. I've got a long-form video on the Denver International Airport that I've decided to do that I haven't even started on yet. I've got a video I'm doing on the RFID chips. So anybody that has anything to say about RFID, go ahead and comment that, and maybe you'll help me with my research in the video. Or if you have some videos on RFID, send that to me too. Or Denver International Airport for that matter, because I'm going to do that video. I'm also working on one on the Oklahoma City bombing, because I just want to look at it again. You know, it's been a really long time since I looked into that one. And, you know I had a lot of problems with it at the time, like multiple bombs and things like that, and the damage not being able to have been caused by his Ryder truck, et cetera, him not working alone. But I want to look back into it and really dive into Oklahoma City. So I'm going to do a video on the Oklahoma City bombing too. So those are things that you'll see in the future on Conspiracy Theories and Chill. Oh, Art Bell is the host of Coast to Coast. Oh, right on. I have to look that up. I've never heard Coast to Coast on AM. I'll have to check that out. What kind of show is it? Oh, let's see. And then also, something I have on the back burner kind of simmering is a series on MK Ultra. I talk about MK Ultra a lot. I want to get deeply into MK Ultra and also explain how I think it's still being used today. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. Nissa says it's an awesome show. I'll have to check out Art Bell. It's on AM radio. I'm always down for a nice talk show. I like listening to podcasts and talk shows. I like that kind of thing. And if you're watching this, you probably like that kind of thing too. So maybe Coast to Coast is something new to you as well. You can check it out. But let's see here. What do I have in my notes? The Mars rover. Do you guys believe there's a rover on Mars that we're controlling from Earth and taking pictures with? I don't. I think that that's complete horseshit. I can't get a cell phone signal where I'm at right now. I live in a dead zone. I can't even make a call from my cell phone right now. But we can talk to a rover on Mars and send pictures back and forth. But I don't trust anything NASA tells me. I think NASA is a bunch of liars. I think NASA is a theater and money laundering operation. I don't think NASA's true at all. I think a lot of the space shit we're fed is bullshit and just made up. And that's just me. And I have a lot of reason to believe that. Think about this. Think about right now, there's a delay when we talk to the ISS. There's a time delay when you watch feeds from the ISS. In 1969, President Nixon called them on the moon. No delay at all. That's just one example of problems with their story, their official story that they force feed the people. It's bullshit. I don't believe we've ever landed on the moon. I don't believe we've ever been to the moon. I think that's complete bullshit. And I have a video on my YouTube channel about it that I would really like for you to check out. It doesn't have very many views. So go to Me on Things and Stuff and check out my We've Never Been to the Moon video. And you can see exactly why I say we've never been there. And we can't go there. We can't go there today. We can't leave low Earth orbit. Farthest we can go is about 400 miles out. We've never been further than 400 miles out, and we never will. I don't think it's possible. I don't think we can do it. And I definitely don't think we went to the moon, 7 times in the 60s and 70s. I'm not buying it. I don't believe we had rockets that had that capability. I don't believe the rocket could have held enough fuel to make it to the moon. I think it's bullshit. But check that video out because I make a good case. It's about a 30-minute video or 20-minute video. I make a good case for why I don't believe in the moon. So if you have any problems with what I'm saying about the moon landing, check that video out and you'll see where I'm coming from. Because if you argue with me, I'm going to link it to you anyway. It's a good video. Damn it. I put a lot of time into these videos. I want them to grow and get out there to get some eyeballs on them. I want them to get views. So subscribe to me on YouTube at Me on Things and Stuff and check out my videos over there. But thank you guys so much for coming to Conspiracy Theories and Chill. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Thank you, Nissa, Steve, and who else was here to participate? Anyone else that stopped by during the live feed, thank you so much for participating and for giving us stuff to talk about. If you show up later on, go ahead and still comment. Anything you want to say, I will respond to your comments. And I enjoy seeing that. So, and give me ideas for future shows, things you want to see me cover. If you want to see me do a video on your favorite conspiracy, you got to tell me what it is. So tell me what kind of videos you'd like to see in upcoming episodes and anything else you want to tell me at all. Go ahead and comment. Feel free. And thank you so much for stopping by and sharing and all of that. I'll see you on the next episode of Conspiracy Theories and Chill right here.